fairy tale?
So my present to you, which I'll give to you in a minute, what I did was I researched and found a magazine from July 1938, and then for every decade, July 48, 58, 68, 78, and so forth.
Oh my goodness.
And so I thought, oh good, that's a great gift. You know, it's done. So then I thought, well, now I have to get one from July 2018. So I went to the bookstore and I started researching, and I found this really cool Time magazine from July 2018. And then I thought, okay, that's done. Now I got to write a toast. Oh gosh, what am I going to write a toast about? So I started looking through this book for ideas. And lo and behold, Time magazine, the geniuses and visionaries who transformed our world, has a chapter on page 99.
Oh, Edmund Glover.
Edmund Cook Glover.
Boy, you did good research.
I can't beat that. So, instead of writing a toast, is it okay if I just read what's in here?
Sure. Well, tell them if it's true or not.
Okay. So this is divided up into sections. So it's got categories like, let's see, physics, mathematics, paleontology, astronomy, chemistry, archaeology, genetics, and medicine. So this is in the genetics.
That's why we all have that funny looking mouth.
So Edmund Cook Glover, and the little subhead says, his keen intellect, dry wit, unwavering ethics, and love of family, friends, adventure, and gameplay have created a strong genetic foundation for generations to follow.
Wow.
So Edmund Cook Glover is a true builder. His early talent ranged from building model aircrafts and ships to building a Chris Craft boat from a kit at age 15 to journey down the Chattahoochee River to the Gulf of Mexico. He built an education and survival skills in the Boy Scouts and in the U.S. Army. He built an education in civil engineering at Georgia Institute of Technology and in industrial management at Carnegie Institute of Technology. He built a career all the way from draftsman to CEO at Batson Cook Company. He built a family with wife Carolyn and daughters Sally and Ann. He built a reputation of unwavering ethics, learned from his parents, and passed it on to his colleagues and to his daughters. He built a beloved alter ego known as Grinch. Generous grandfather to Lily, Andrew, Cliff, Cole, Connor, and Art. He has built a life of adventure with his wife Sandra, from hunting squirrels in the backyard to sailing across the globe and back. He is still building a legacy of humor and love to all who are lucky enough to know him.
Oh my
I am the son of a great author now.
Wait a minute, you have another one.
Cole, open that door so
She's
y'all
the
can get
artist.
some
I'm
air.
supposed to be the author. We'll see, right?
Well, she wrote this.
In case you don't know, I'm Edmund's other daughter, Sally. I was born when Daddy was 30 years old, so we've been reaching our decade milestones together for 50 years.
Oh my gosh.
Each time each of us remarks on how we don't feel as old as we thought we would. This year, I remember what Daddy said when asked how he felt about turning 50. Well, I guess half my life is over. With the Glover genes, I'm looking forward to my next half century as well. But genes are just the beginning of what Daddy's given me as a daughter. It may not look like I followed in his footsteps at all, but I believe in many important ways I have. Daddy did not have a son to share Boy Scouting with, unfortunately, but he and I did have fun camping with the families from First United Methodist Church when I was young. He taught me how to use a compass, a BB gun, and a Boy Scout knife. And I found out that I needed all my survival skills when I camped out at a music festival in France alone. Daddy also did not have a child who grew up to be an elephant engineer at Georgia Tech. Notice I said elephant. As Anna, there's children here. As Anna and I displayed a lack of enthusiasm for math and science. But I did learn to love Atlanta and Yellow Jacket football. So I attended college at Emory, which makes one a de facto Tech fan due to our lack of football. And like Daddy, when he was returning one of his dates from Tech to her dorm at Emory, I also got lost in Druid Hills on more than one occasion, trying to find my way back to campus. Luckily, I had the map of Atlanta he gave me and taught me how to use, and I still have it. Daddy did teach me to swim, drive a boat, ride the disc, and water ski at the backwater. Along with Pop, G-Mom, and my cousins, he gave me a sense of adventure and a love for this place that makes it my real home no matter where I travel. And speaking of travel, Anna and I were fortunate enough to go on at least 2 family vacations a year due to the AGC and Boy Scout conventions. I remember stopping to read every historical marker and learn the significance of every place we visited. Much to my children's chagrin, I can't resist the urge to do the same thing when we travel. But we all love to travel to new places and learn new things together. My profession as an English teacher may seem diametrically opposed to Daddy's as a CEO of a construction company, but I do owe my love of Shakespeare's wit and wordplay and my unfortunate tendency to correct people's grammar to Daddy's constant grammar vigilance and his devotion to silly, twisted word jokes. Finally, and most importantly, I learned from Daddy that no matter what my children choose to do or be, I should be happy for them and show my love for them enthusiastically and unconditionally.
Yeah, you're a great writer.
For Daddy, when she's looking for someone to spend the rest of her life with. And as you know, I'm a civil engineer, as Edmund is. And I have my certain way of doing things like Edmund does. He always wears a pocketed shirt. And I always wear one that says Atlas Surveying. And when Sally first introduced me to Edmund, she said, I want you both to look down at your shoes, because we both wear the same kind of Merrills. And all I can say is, whether or not you believe in that line of thinking, or whether or not you believe I have any of those traits, I'm humbled and honored to think that she's awesome.
Thank you.
No, wait. Well, I woke up this morning with a mighty gasp. I said, Edmund's gas.
You might want to start over. And I was enunciate.
I was trying to enunciate. Sorry. I woke up this morning with a mighty gasp. Edmund's birthday is coming up so fast. I can't remember when he was born. What year? Of course I can't remember. I wasn't even here. But I have memories galore after the year 1944 of him tickling me so hard I'd cry, "Stop it, I'm gonna die!" He'd say, "You're still breathing." But here I am, alive and well, with many more memories to tell. I used to watch him tap out Morse code on a clicker, entranced how he sent his messages with the speed of the flicker. With a dot dot dash and a dot dash here and a dot dot dotty dot dot through the air. I expected the troops to arrive pretty soon from the messages he was sending from his room. Hey, come on. But no one came, and I was so relieved that all was well and his message was received. Now, this sounds like someone else said something. He was a builder from birth and beyond, just like Daddy and Uncle Edmund. He built boats, models, and robots when he was young, then on into buildings and malls just for the fun. He has received accolades for his talents and fame. He is one reason Batson Cook has such a good name. And he taught me how to fly in the air. He did, didn't he? Just sit on his feet, he's lying down, and just push me there. Oh, what a thrill it was to soar. That is, until I hit the floor. My arm readjusted and kind of sore. We decided to not do that no more. I like this weather down here. His adventures in scouting, going down the river, will keep your hairs on end and your insides quiver. Carrying boats and all the wares, battling the bugs and snakes and bears. Through the hills and the underbrush, clearing the land. Let's see, trying to reach campsite before dusk. Clearing the land by hand with hatchets. Starting fire with sticks, not matches. Putting up tents for the night and telling ghost stories until daylight. And then to the river to launch their boats. It gets too scary. I can't go on, folks. And it did, going down the river. Now, playing games with him is a challenge, but fun. In 74 years, I've only won one. Now, let me go ahead. Chess, Monopoly, Scrabble, what can I say? But to my utter delight, I won him in Pente. I just won. The best brother ever, and this is why. He's put up with 3 sisters, oh my. And Edmund, we just want you to know, we're so proud of you and love you so. Cheers, and to many
I've toasted Jenny, and I've toasted Sister Lolly. Now it's time to toast Brother Edmund, by gosh and by golly. Now there are not many things that I can do a whole lot better than him, except maybe snow ski. But then he water skis on a stool with a wheel. He can always beat me at chess and Monopoly and checkers. Not to mention Trivial Pursuit, where he was one of my hecklers. I remember once he played tennis with me just to help me have a little fun. But I could not get him to play bridge with me, not even at the sight of a gun. Now Edmund has a dry wit for which there is no comparison. Must have learned it in grade school under Mr. Harrison. And his IQ is definitely way up there off the charts. Must be why he steals everybody's admiration in their hearts. Which leads me to why we're here to celebrate tonight. It's his 80th birthday. Yep, that's right. Want to know what he looked like in his earlier days? Well, here are a few photos on which you can gaze, but you have to wait till they open the presents.
Wait. Give him the present so he can
Okay, give him the present. Okay. Just look at that.
He's got to catch up with you.
Oh, okay.
He's trying to remember out what he looks like.
It was a while ago.
What? No, not that thing.
No.
No. All right. Okay. All right, that's the page. Now look at that baby boy as he breaks into smiles in the arms of G-Mom, the former Louise Lau. Now in the next picture, he is in the clutch of his pop. And even a new puppy got in this Christmas photo op. Okay. I don't think they can.
You enjoy it.
Yeah. Now here, it is Nancy who joins him in 2 years or so. Usually we had fun, but sometimes not, don't you know? Just kidding. He was a fun big brother, I suppose. Can't you tell by that angelic pose? And here we are years later, dressed up in our teens. Hard as it was to get us out of our blue jeans. Now rarely, but sometimes Edmund could be stubborn and grim. Although whatever he did, you couldn't help but love him. Now the rest of the pictures show him with smiles.
You gotta turn the page. That's
Yeah.
still grim.
That's true.
That's good.
Yeah.
Graham.
You're still grim.
But the rest of the pictures show him with smiles and laughter. And that is the brother I know now and forever after. So, happy birthday once again. I can't say anymore, I ran out of ink in my pen.
I have to stand this way. My brother Edmund is somewhat of a paradox, but the total mix makes him just right, says Goldilocks. His wit is as dry as a baby's patootie, or a sailor awaiting next weekend's shore duty. He'll never repeat anything that he's uttered. Better hear it the first time, once said, then it's shuddered. I can't even count all the clever bon mots he said sotto voce, and we heard him not. You can tell by the twinkle in his eye it was good, but you missed it. So sorry, now it's under the hood. The ones that we do catch are funny as hail. Most likely a pun or a shaggy dog tale. Moving on now to the matter of eating, Edmund's preferences here are equally fleeting. He's a pea-picky eater from his head to his toes. A lot like his daddy as far as that goes. Don't offer him up any garlic or artichoke or stuff that is usually yummy to other folk. Just make sure there's plenty of tea, brewed with sugar, add wedges of lemon, then stir up with vigor. He's okay with white bread and plain foods well fried, and eggs that are naturally colored, not dyed. When dressing his salad, steer clear of green goddess. Just mix mayo and ketchup to avoid a jihadist. Cake is okay if you've got lemon cheese, but to him a peach cobbler is just the bee's knees. How is it with board games, you cautiously ask? If you serve up Parcheesi, will he take you to task? You gotta be kidding. He loves games we all well know. Monopoly, Cranium, Phase 10, and go! But not bridge, be it drawn out or quick. Don't ask me why, it's just not his shtick. But any other game you can bet you will lose. He could win with his head tied behind his back, should he choose. As good as he is at being a brother, you should see how he is as a husband and other, such as daddy and uncle and ex-CEO, first cousin, executor, stepdad, and mo. There just isn't a role that he doesn't do good. Think he's just satisfactory? My foot! Happy birthday, Edmund. Okay, if anybody has anything to say, that as long as it doesn't rhyme. It's not gonna rhyme.
I've tried several times to be a poet like my other little sisters here, but I can't even compete. But Edmund and I were riding down the road and last week, and we said, no, it was 2 weeks ago, and we said, you know, it's been 16 years yesterday when we had a blind date. That was June 22nd of 2002. And this year, on October the 19th, we'll celebrate our 16th anniversary. And we're talking about all the things that we enjoy. He is classical music, and I'm Elvis.
He is Prius, and I'm a fast car. You know, he is no onions, and the more the merrier for me. But the way that we put all these differences together, we are just great. I love this man. He is the best husband I've ever had. He is the he is the best father that I've ever known to his children and to my children. He's the best granddaddy to all 6 of our wonderful grandchildren. He is the best. When I asked God to send somebody that was not an alcoholic, that was not on drugs, that was just not just wanting to date me because they thought I owned a flower shop and had a lot of money, you know. And the number one thing I said was, God, just send me somebody that will go to church with me, that likes to do things in the community, because that's one of my things that I enjoy doing, and that likes people and likes to have fun. I didn't think there was such a person on the face of this earth. But that first night when we had that blind date, when someone asked me if I would date Edmund Glover, I said, who in the heck is Edmund Glover? So I said the H-E-L-E. And they said, you don't know? I said, no, I know his wonderful mom and dad, but I don't know him, you know. So I'm glad that we both took that chance, and I know who in the heck Edmund Glover is now.
You know he's real smart, don't you? I said, yes. And they said, well, what are you going to talk about? And I said, well, I don't know. I said, you know, I can talk to a stump, you know. And they said, well, he doesn't talk very much. And so by this time, by 6 o'clock that evening, I had taken a pen and written on my hand. How many sisters or brothers do you have? Do you have children? Where were you born? All this kind of stuff. But I was perspiring, so by the time we got to the country club parlor, really didn't know what it was. But Gerald Howard, that had kind of fixed us up, said, don't worry, he doesn't talk, but I'll come by the table every 10 minutes. I'll keep that conversation going no matter what. Said, you know, I'll just give you some hints and you'll just go on. So after the third 15-minute interval he came by, he said, well, I guess y'all are doing all right. I'm not coming back.
A good student, I was a C student, but we were able to converse nevertheless. And he's been a great friend, and we've made several trips together, and I think there was only one occasion where one of us got angry with the other, and that was over a telephone call that I wanted to make. He didn't think it was a good idea, but anyway, that's all gone, and he is a friend, and I consider him a brother, and he's a great friend and a great brother, and I wish you a very happy birthday.
All right.